Hey, what's everybody? Wardrobe here. Let's talk about the Totally Bitchin' Football League Week 3 results. This is kind of a wrap up. I played all these games rolling dice. So none of these were played with the instant results chart. I think week 4 will be 3 instant results and 1 actual play. And we'll just kind of I'll just change it up week to week just to kind of get a different a variety of results. So week 3 played like it was meant to be played, rolling dice. So let's just go down the column here, and then we'll look at the standings afterward to kind of look where they stood and where they stand now. We had some fun shifts in places here. That'll be fun to talk about here. But let's just go down the games real quick. So, the number 8 Shreveport Commandos flew over the pond to the Rhine Showboats to see if they could get their first win and kind of overcome that shadow of that 8th seed. Rhine, former champion, needed to get their first win. They were going in 0-2. And it started out pretty tough. Shreveport was actually winning. They might have been their first lead. I have to kind of go through all their scores. They were winning 2019 at the half. We did have started out with a TD run, then a fumble, a TD pass, an interception, a touchdown. Oh, an interception that led to a touchdown. Yeah, an interception. Yeah, this was not the one I thought it was. We had a bunch. It was just kind of a good back and forth game, 2019. And so that was that. But then Ryan turned it on, put up their defense, and won that second half 20-7. So 20-7. So we had a total of 27-39 was the victory. So this week we did see a couple games where there's some separation in point differential. You can see actually 3 of them now that I look at it. So kind of a little bit of spread on that point differential, which impacts them, and breaking ties and all that stuff. Week 3, second game, Austin into Milwaukee. Number 3, Austin. Remember these numbers you see here are their preseason rankings. Number 3, Austin went into number 4 seed Milwaukee Triangles. Well, you can see the result of that. We had our first upset in 9. So we went 9 games before we had an upset. And I mean, 3-4 is hardly an upset, but it is a lower seed beating a higher seed. Austin Maroons flew into the Triangle Stadium and got kind of whooped there. The Milwaukee defense stuffed them. What is interesting, we had a missed extra point. We had 18 punts in this game. 18 punts. We did have a couple of cool things, though. As well as a missed XP there. I didn't even circle this. The very first score for Milwaukee was they blocked a punt for a TD. And then Milwaukee had a TD pass and they missed extra point, making in the game 3-13 at that point. Milwaukee, though, was twice stopped from scoring 14 points because of the staunch defense of Austin. Now, what's interesting is that stopped them from getting that. So the Austin defense was doing what they needed to do, but their offense was doing jack. I mean, punt. I mean, everyone was punting. Both teams were punting. It's crazy. We went into the half 3-13. It stayed like that for the third quarter. Yeah, 3-13 first quarter, 0 scoring in the second and third quarter, 0 scoring for Austin in the fourth quarter, and just 7. I mean, the game was over in the first quarter, essentially. So that was a pretty wild game. Yeah, I thought, 3-13, that's fun. Oh, boy. All right. So you can see the end result there, 3-20. Akron going into Muncie, the number 2-6. Yeah, pretty likely, highly favored team there. But you can see what happened. 20-19. Another close one there. Not much point differential there. So there wasn't much earned there. But Akron did get an away win. So one of our, rare away wins here. Well, not rare, but this week it was rare. As you can see, it was the only one, actually. So 20-19, they beat Muncie. At the half, Muncie was actually up 13-7. And slowly but surely, Akron came back. So it was 13-7 at the half. And then Akron scored 13 themselves in the second half. And Muncie just scored 6 on 2 field goals. So, and there was a desperation play at the end for Muncie, but couldn't make it happen. The Muncie hometown fans were bummed about that, and Akron earned themselves some away points, which I believe helped them. We'll see that here in just a minute. In the last game, number 7 going into the number 1 Tulsa Ravens. They didn't think this would go well, and sure enough, it didn't. 10-43. It's the highest score you've had this game of the played games. Some of that I roll up might have had more, but of the played games, this is the most I had. It was 0-26 at the half. That was looking pretty sad. Um, and staunch defense did stop San Francisco from scoring a touchdown. Um, and at the end of the third quarter, it was 7-36, and then immediately 7-43. Tulsa scored the first touchdown pass, and then a field goal would be made, and that would be it. So it was not much of a game. The home fans loved it and loved that their Tulsa Ravens are living up to their number one seed and going 3-0. So let's take a look at where. See if I can drag this. I'm going to try this, dragging this over here, and see if I can just show that. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Let me zoom in a little bit, and we'll look at the standings, kind of the week before, and then that third week. So going into the week, Tulsa was in first place with 2-0, and let's see, how do I want to do this? Well, let's look at we'll look at week 4 here, or week 3. Sorry. So you can see the Akron, Tulsa, and Milwaukee all tied, three-way tie for first place. So the first thing you do is you go to the away points, and that Akron victory. Well, that Akron victory away really helped them, because the point differential here, you go to Tulsa's kicking butt, they would have got first place. So yeah, so that's kind of interesting. So that win away got Akron into first place going into week 4. So good on them. The next 3 teams are 1 and 2, Muncie, Rhine, and Austin. You look at their away points. Only Muncie has 1 away win, so that automatically gave him that. Otherwise, Rhine would be in 4th place, because the point differential there, if they could get themselves a victory, a road victory, but they're currently 0-2. Austin's 0-1. And then on the last 2 teams, dwell in the basement there, that poor San Francisco Colts. And where did Shreveport end last time? That's Milwaukee Triangles. Okay. So Shreveport, man, 0-3. This is looking sad down here. Neither one have a waypoint, so then we had to go to the differential, and San Francisco's just they got smushed by Tulsa, so that was not good for them. Shreveport lost by a lot, but not that. So it's not looking good here. So you can see our top offensive team right now is Tulsa Ravens with 83 points. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Ryan Showboat's at 89. I think that's because one of those, my immediate results gave him a lot of points. But Ryan Showboats show up at 89. Tulsa Ravens 83. I bet someone will come up with a way to generate scores based on their ratings and stuff, but I don't know how you do that, because if they win or lose, I guess if you say they lose, I don't know. I don't know how you do that. Someone will figure something out. And then our best defense is, I had this figured out. It's Tulsa, only allowing 35 points. The next closest one is 20 away at, oh, no, not quite. 52 points at Milwaukee. So this is kind of what happened last year when Ryan had like a 100-point differential, and the next closest one was like 20 something. It was crazy, the difference here. So we're kind of seeing some separation here like that too with Tulsa. Yeah, that worst team, man. It's just San Francisco Colts at -38, and our top Tulsa at 48. And you saw that in the way that game went down. It's probably one of the reasons they're like that too. I started to keep track of this too. So, it's home victories versus away victories, 7 and 5. I don't know what that means. Doesn't mean much. Just looking. So you can see Akron. So there was a little movement, a little switch here between first and second with Akron and Tulsa. Milwaukee and Muncie stayed as they were. Rhine did themselves a lot of favor by winning that game and bumped up from 8th place to 5th place. So that's pretty cool for them. Dropping Austin down a smidge, and then Shreveport and San Francisco just wow. San Francisco actually dropped down from 6th place down to 8th. Shreveport just stayed where they were. It's kind of sad for those teams. So let's look at next week's games here. We'll kind of look here. Tulsa at Rhine. So the number 1 team, nope. Yeah, the number 1 seeded team against the number 5 seeded team. You can kind of see where they are. Tulsa goes into Rhine. That'd be good for Tulsa. So Tulsa could get potentially 6 points here, which would bump them into first place if Akron wins. Akron is at home, so will not be earning any more points that way. So they'll have to see what they can do. But that's going to be a tough game against Austin. Let's see, they started out as a 3 seed and 2 seed. So yeah, actually, it could be a really good game. That might be actually worth with playing through here. Um, that might be the game of the week. I'm kind of having to try to decide what the game of the week is. Um, Muncie into Milwaukee. Okay, well, that could be cool. You're not going to see a big shift there in place because there's a separation there 3-0, 1-2. Uh, Akron and Austin, the same 3-0, 1-2. Tulsa Rhine, same 3-0, 1-2. And then Shreveport, San Francisco. I'm almost tempted to play that Shreveport, San Francisco game just to see if one of those can get a victory there. But it could be interesting. The preseason 3 favorite, Austin Maroons, where are they going? They're going into Akron. That could be an interesting one. I think I will play that one to see if Austin can help themselves by giving themselves an away victory, going 2-2, and which would could separate them a bit. So I think that's the game I'm going to play. So next week's game of the week will be, which I'll play and record, Austin against Akron. The other games I'll roll up, and we'll see how those go. All right, everybody, thanks. That's all we're going to talk about. That wraps up the summary of week 3 of the Totally Bitchin' Football League. Again, let me know what's going on. Let me know what you think, what you'd like to see, hear, blah, blah, blah. I guess I'll nip it in the bud. I'm not going to do stats for like people. I think it would make it neater calling for you all. I think it would make it interesting to have stats. I just do not want to keep track of that stuff. But knowing who the leading quarterback is and running back and sacks or something would be cool. But I'm enjoying the level of immersion I've got right now. And it's not a lot of work, but it's a little bit of work to do all this. So anyway, all right, that's that. I can't wait to do week 4. I'm having a ball with this, and we'll see you week 4 with the wrap up and, well, of course, the game of the week. I guess I can show week 4. Week 4, which I've decided will be Austin and Akron, 2 and 3, but they are separated by a lot by their records. That'll be a fun game. And I'm excited to see what happens with Shreveport and San Francisco. I think it would be hilarious if they tied. It'd give them a point, though. Give them both a point, which would be kind of fun. All right, that's that. And we'll talk to you later. See you.